واقعا روز جالبیه و خیلی یک روز بی سابقه که با جمعیت چشمگیر آمده و اعتراض خوره علیه عاملان تروریسم در پاکستان اعلان منه و متاسفانه مقاله در انگلیسی و من فقط در چند کلمه در رابطه با کویته و سفری در افغانستان داشتم و خدمت شما عرض کنم. We come here today to condemn first of all terrorism in Pakistan and Afghanistan, and it's not only this crowd that come here. The people like you across the world and across many cities across Australia come together to raise their concern about what is happening in Pakistan. And as you know that the Pakistan, Hazara in Pakistan have been targeted since 2001, and there are almost about 500 people have lost their lives and over 1,500 injured. And one of our finest people actually was killed in 2009 by the terrorists in the name of Hussein Ali Yusufi. And we know that the terrorists can trade you anywhere, where you are, doesn't matter what ethnicity you belong, what creed you belong, they will target, they are the enemies of humanity. It's actually ironic that the West think that they are only the victims of terrorism. In fact, Hazaras have been victims of terrorism for many years in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Last year, I traveled to Afghanistan to meet people actually in Afghanistan in different cities. I meet people in Bamiyan, families, orphans, who were hunted by the Taliban atrocities in 1999 and 1998. They feel abandoned by their own government. They feel abandoned by the world. They're scared that the Taliban will come back one day and kill them in front of their house. In Basud, I found a lot of villages that burned down by coaches since 2004. I found that Afghan government is discriminating against the Hazaras in different cities across Afghanistan. And yet, the terrorism that's happening in Pakistan is linked to Afghanistan. This is not a separate event that happened in Pakistan that killed specifically Hazaras. They are killing people like cutting grasses. They brutally kill people in Quetta. And I don't believe that people who are killed in Pakistan, they are, as widely reported, they are pilgrimage going to Iran. Most of them are refugees coming either from Afghanistan or they're escaping from such a dangerous situation in Quetta to go to Iran to seek a temporary shelter. And the question remains that who is actually responsible for all this event? We know that Lashkar-e-Jangbi, which is a banned terrorist organization, committed a lot of atrocity against the Hazaras and killed most of the people, or all of the people in Quetta. And yet, we also take Pakistan responsible for not punishing those people who are committing human rights, who was committing crime against humanity. This is not only my word, it's what Afghanistan people suffered, and it's the word of many other people in the West. And not only that, the Human Rights Commission in Pakistan filed a report in 2010, and they said that the local Balochistan government is actually responsible for most of what happened to Hazaras, because they're not punishing those people for killing people, yet they continue their killing and they are bombing to Hazaras cities and innocent people in Pakistan. And of course, we should not forget people who are inside detention center. Over 1,500 people, Hazaras inside detention, in Curtin, in Kisposal, and in many detention centers across Australia. And they demand our support. They are the people that escaped the same condition from Pakistan and Afghanistan to seek asylum in Australia. And yet, we see from the government of Australia that deny protection for people. And we see that the government of Australia has actually signed an agreement with Malaysia to send asylum seekers to Malaysia. And we know that the Hazaras are not safe here in Afghanistan. And I found from my own research in Afghanistan and Pakistan. And of course, gathering here today is not the last thing we do. And we should continue our protest if the government of Pakistan or the terrorists who are committing crime against those people, against humanity, does not stop killing Hazaras in Pakistan. And those who are capable, they should write to the foreign minister of Pakistan. They should write to the AN. They should write to the politician in Australia to raise their concern about what is happening to Hazaras. And I have to tell you that there is also a conference on 7th of October, this Friday, and this is discussing about refugees in Afghanistan and Pakistan. And this is the report that will be launched on Friday 7th. And this is actually documenting the persecution of Hazaras in Afghanistan and Pakistan. And I hope that you can make it and you can keep up your efforts to raise your concern, to raise your voices for the people who are voiceless in Afghanistan and Pakistan, for the people who don't have any means, for the people who are actually relying on your support. And of course, there is also a conference, as you possibly know, that about the Hazaras. There is an exhibition, at UTS, which is across the road. And some of you who have time, they can go. It's about 10 minutes walk from here, and you can see the faces of people in Basud whose house were burned by Cochise in 2010. You can see the face of people in Bamyan whose families were massacred by the Taliban. You can see the face of people in Kabul who also were fired by the Afghan armies in 2010. And I would like to thank you everyone for giving this opportunity, for coming here today. And I want you to keep up your efforts and continue to raise your voices. Thanks very much. Bye.